Deep in the shadows, I know it's hard to put one foot in front of the other.
Hi guys, CeeChronicles here. Welcome to Talking Sense. I post fragrance related content, guys, and would very much appreciate it if you did consider subscribing. And to those who are returning, thank you so much once again. Now, welcome to a Middle Eastern fragrance recommendation starter pack. This is of 9 fragrance houses. And this is not to say these fragrances are going to smell Middle Eastern. Some do not smell Middle Eastern, but they're just the best like stepping stone into some of these fragrance houses and creations. I'm going to start with Amar, guys. These 2 are recommendations that I'm gonna outright give. Actually, let me say 3. Let's just put Imperial there as well. The reason why I hadn't actually lifted Imperial at the same time with the other ones is because this one is a Delina exclusive DNA, so it is a DNA that a lot of people know, but for the sake of just making sure we get it out of the way, if you are looking for an alternative to the exclusive DNA, then Imperial is going to be a great starter from the Amar fragrance house. Okay, and they have a lot, of course, within the Club de Nuit range. The Club de Nuit range is this one. They also have the Baccarat Rouge inspiration there, leaning more towards the straight. But anyway, for this video, I thought to recommend these 2. This is going to be unisex, right? Club de Nuit Intense Women, but it is unisex. Your caramel thick concoction there, winter leaning, complex mix, quite surprising. And as time goes, it actually gets better and better. Magnificent for her is also here as another great stepping stone into the Amar fragrance house. If you wanted to add some in your collection, this is going to be your raspberry berry blast thick concoction there of a fruity fragrance that doesn't feel juvenile. So this is mature fruity, sharing a little bit of some similarities with oud mazing without the oud. And then there is, of course, the iconic. This one I would recommend for any gentleman out there. So those would do if you were looking or you were wondering where to start when it comes to the Amar. On number 2, I put the house of Ajmal. Now, a no-brainer in terms of recommendation is going to be Evoke Gold, because this one, in as much as it says for her, has got that unisex tone to it that you get from Lip Intense. If you've used Lip Intense, you will know that it has a masculine thing there, and this one, of course, has a lasting power on steroids. So if you're looking at a starting point when it comes to the Ajmals, you could consider Evoke Gold. Do not have too many Ajmals. I did feature, I think, 2 before. I have a rose one. I'm going to put it on the screen. You can reference that if you want. And the other one that I did review, just also stepping into the Ajmal house. Okay, so I do not have like tons of them. There's this one called Sacred Love, a mix of florals and citruses there with a nectarous pear. Does feel like a punched up Davidoff cool water interpretation, but with the lasting power to match. So this I just thought to put here because of the lasting power, but do not expect fireworks when it comes to this one. Another one I can recommend is going to be Viva Viola. It's a sweet fruity scent there with a caramel accord, or fruity feminine toned fragrance. So these are the 3 that I'm going to recommend from Ajmal in case you want to start. And of course, I'm going to put the other 2 that I have reviewed in the description. I have forgotten the name, but one of them is the one that comes with that rose fluffy bow. It was a mini, that's why I actually forgot to bring it here. Next up is going to be the house of Swiss Arabian. From Swiss Arabian, guys, I have 3, but there's obviously more. I just chose to select these 3 because they are in my collection again. Of course, Swiss Arabian has been on the roll. They've been putting out a lot of fragrances, so these might not to some of you come across as, well, the best out there. There is Casablanca here simply because it is a fragrance that's going to do the most in terms of performance, as well as Oud Asrach, right? These 2 are here just for the performance, and because they do not outright feel common to my nose. So if you love that patchouli forward, caramel forward type of fragrance, then Casablanca is one that I would say maybe you want to start with when you are starting your Swiss Arabian journey. And it does lean feminine, although men can wear this one. Asrach I had to put here, but this one I must say has Middle Eastern traces. So if you are the sort of person that really doesn't like fragrances with an oudi undertone, woody, they're very spicy with the cinnamon doing doing the most together with the honey, this might not work for you, but it is unique enough that if you purchase it, it will smell very different. Doesn't smell like a lot of them out there. The last one I thought to put as a recommendation, guys, is Shachaf for Men. I just thought to put this one here because this does not get a lot of love, guys. Shachaf for Men is a praline forward fragrance. It does have some apple there, so it's going to be a fruity, caramelly fragrance as opposed to being like your quintessential fresh scent. Don't sleep on this one, guys. It makes a great addition to your Swiss Arabian fragrances there if you're looking for something that's not complex but that is not going to disappoint. Those are the 3 fragrances from Swiss Arabian that I would recommend you add to your collection if you're starting your Swiss Arabian journey. Now let's move on to number 4, where I'm going to show you the Milestone fragrance recommendations. From my Milestone collection, I isolated 3. They could have been 4 together with Prime, because Prime and Bibliothèque from the original Milestone releases are the 2 fragrances that I can say in my collection really nail what they're going for. This one, of course, leaves nothing to the imagination. It draws its inspiration from Bibliothèque, a fragrance that is odd. It's not going to be odd because it's Middle Eastern, but because what it draws inspiration from is plain odd. Imagine a bunch of very old books. That's what you're going to get in this fragrance, a touch of leather as well as a little bit of some wood. So this is a good one from Milestone, guys, as a starting point, but it's not for the faint of heart. The next one I thought to drop here as a recommendation is Mouge Ice Age, right? A fragrance that we thought was going to draw its inspiration from Lineage, but I can outright recommend it, even though it misses the mark there when it comes to Amouage Lineage. This has some uniqueness to it. This will give you a little bit of freshness, a little bit of creaminess, a touch of aldehydes, a little bit green, aromatic. It's just a fun fragrance, this one, guys. If I were to choose from the 3, which is the pink one that I did come with here and the one that looks like Crimson Rocks, I'm gonna say I think this one just beats the 3. This is unique. Whatever they were going for, this is a special fragrance. I pass this off as having similarities to my Afnan Ray Tiffany, but kind of interpreting there like an EDT. So this from Milestone, don't sleep on. It's going to just revamp your fragrance collection. The next one that I recommend from the house is going to be Brown Tonka, a fragrance which looks like it's drawing inspiration from CH Bronze Tonka, but now that we have established that they may have decided to just go to surprise the consumer by giving us bottles that look like one thing and then having fragrances that look like the other. I'm just going to recommend it here for what it is. It's a sweet, spicy, leathery, woody scent, unisex, with a little tone of a Middle Eastern feel there. The spices kind of interpret a little bit Middle Eastern, and there's a little touch of oud, I think, in this one. So those are the 3 that I would recommend, guys, from Milestone, which is Bibliothèque, Brown Tonka, as well as, which one else? Ice Age. Okay, as well as Ice Age. So those are the 3. Let's move on to the next house on 5th position, which is the house of Rave. From Rave, guys, out of the 5 that I own, these are the 2 that stand out. If you are wondering which ones to pick from the collection, of course, as an honorable mention, I'm going to talk about the black one, but there's little to say about that one because it's either you love pineapple or you don't, because that is a pineapple bomb, right? But these 2 guys speak to me. This is your creamy strawberry fragrance, very strawberry forward. They're drawing its inspiration from Burberry Her Elixir, and then this now white is just your complex aldehydic leaning citrus, something that is going to revamp your collection and most likely not to smell like a lot of the fragrances that you have in your collection. So I picked out these 2 guys from Rave as being the best in terms of this one being so unique that chances of you purchasing this and having like 10 already in your collection if you're a collector is rare. This just nails the Burberry Her Elixir. So if you love that, that is a recommendation. Next up is going to be the 6th house, which is FA Paris. From FA Paris, I have these two to put out there if you wanted to start your collection. FA Paris have got this one, is called a Brush Carmine. They went for a very complex DNA there of Amar, which is Crimson Rocks, and they nailed it. It interprets that one, shockingly to the T. And if you love complex, rosy, powdery fragrances, a bit musky there, grown, then this is going to do it for you. It's an outstanding fragrance. And the next one, guys, is this one, Rose de Privé, a fragrance that draws its inspiration from Rose de Ruby. So these are the two fragrances I cannot fold from the house. This is going to be your jammy oud rose combo. It's going to have a slight Middle Eastern tone to it there, as well as this one, but not really just shouting oud, oud, and more oud. Both of them are going to have that Middle Eastern spicy kick. So that is why I thought to drop them here, guys, from the house of FA Paris. To pick the stuffs. These 5 that I have for you are going to make your collection. I'm going to give a little bit of everything to your collection. The first one is Maj Al Sultan, guys. This is a DNA, I have to outright say, has got like a Middle Eastern appeal to it. Smoky, woodsy, there's a tobacco note in here, spicy, very pepper forward, if I must say. So you've got to love those spicy type of fragrances. This is so unique and has like a dry wood feel to it. So it might need testing if you're a woman, but to me, the DNA comes across as a no-brainer if you're a man. The lasting power as well is great for this one, guys. It actually lasts till the next day. So if you are to start your stuff collections, Maj Al Sultan is one that you may want to add to that list. The next two are these ones. These are a no-brainer, guys, and you'll know I was going to recommend these two. Okay, these are from the Princess of Arabia line, but the same line has got one called Prince of Arabia. I'm just emphasizing the Princess of Arabia because these are the ones that are targeted for women, but of course you wear what you want to wear. This is a crowd-pleasing fragrance with that My Way DNA. If you love fruity, floral, summer scents, there, quintessential feminine, femme fatale even fragrance, then you're going to love this one. This is Western leaning, and it also has a decent lasting power. Now the flanker to it is called Privé Rose, a concoction that feels as though it draws its inspiration from the PDMs, but a lot going on there. It's not a Delina dupe, it's not an exclusive dupe, it's not a Cassidy dupe, but it's going to give you a mixture of something that feels like they played around with those DNAs. So these two, guys, I also recommend as starter packs to the Art Stuff collection. This one lasts the whole day, leaves a trail there, a gentle trail, and a scent bubble of about 3 to 3.5 meters. People are going to be able to smell this one on you. So guys, I did say that I do not have the Prince of Arabia, and I'm not saying this one smells like Prince of Arabia. This is Kassouf, right? It's Kassouf Extrait. Kassouf Black Extrait. Okay, this is one that I'm going to recommend as well. If you are a gentleman and you're looking to purchase something from us stuff that's going to be, crowd pleasing, this gives me a Western DNA. This one is a fresh, aromatic, spicy type of fragrance. It kind of feels to me like it draws this inspiration from the Dior Sauvage, range there. So I thought to recommend it there, guys, as a great starter fragrance. Summer leaning, lasting about 6 to 7 hours active there. And the last one I'm going to recommend from the house of our stuff is going to be Gayad. Now this one draws its inspiration from Mancera's Red Tobacco. This is also a weird one, not the same as much Al Sultan, but also taking the trophy for being plain odd. This is gonna, this is a fragrance that has tobacco. It's gonna be leathery, it's gonna be woodsy, but it's got like a realistic, like a pipe tobacco realistic feel there. So if you're looking to add something that is unique, you can certainly add this one. It has a sweetness there that gives it like a caramel feel, which is one thing that the ladies might favor. But I have to point out that this is Middle Eastern leaning, especially if you just one of those people that find woody, spicy, cinnamon, scents Middle Eastern leaning, then this is one that I'm going to class as Middle Eastern leaning. Best performance you're going to get from this one, lasting till the next wash. Great one, guys, to add to your stuff collection. From Fragrance World, this is what I have to recommend. Cocktail Intense. Of course, the overly done Angel Share DNA, but it nails it. So don't slip on this one if you want to add that one to your collection. Frantic 107.9, drawing its inspiration, guys, from Rouge Smoking. Doesn't perform as well as Rouge Smoking, but it is an enjoyable fragrance overall. And then lastly, if you are into lactonic, creamy, powdery, musky fragrances, then I have White as Tuberose, for you as a recommendation from that house. It is a nice fragrance, nothing to fault here. However, it does lean a little bit feminine. So that's it, guys, from the house of fragrance world. Now the last ones are from Paris Corner. I have a host of Paris Corner fragrances, and I also did put out a Paris Corner rating if you want to watch that video to hear more of my thoughts on the other ones. But the two I decided to single out if you want to start your Paris Corner journey are going to be these ones. Phenomenal Gatos, a coconutty, creamy, santani lotion, tropical fragrance. That is what you get from this one. And then this one is simply put your complex rose scent there with woods and spices. Some are going to get a Middle Eastern touch from this fragrance, but it is enjoyable nonetheless. So that's it, guys. That makes the last of 9 fragrance houses. 9 because I have done a Lattafa starter pack, and Lattafa is the gift that keeps on giving. So I may have to update that one, but there's a lot of other Middle Eastern houses. Some I have even featured, but I ended up, like for instance, I featured Rasasi. I just had 2 bottles of Rasasi and I got rid of those ones. There was nothing wrong with them, but they were just too masculine to me, and I didn't want to come and start talking about stuff that I do not have anymore. As we post consistently, guys, I'm going to bring you more houses, and as I grow my collection, I'm going to give you more options. CeeChronicles is my name. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you found this video helpful. Some of them are not going to be Middle Eastern. Some of them are going to smell Western, but they nail what they're going for, and to some extent even outperforming what they're going for. Do turn on post notifications while you're at it. That way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Please do remember to like and share as well. And also that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.